So a nice cute little top with very, very puffy sleeves. Inside we have, it's a firm fabric, so that's not stretchy at all, but we do have elastic both around the shoulders and around the bottom of the sleeve. So the very first thing I'm going to try and do is see how much of this, if I go through the normal system and the process and placement and start on my shoulders, how much of this can I fit onto the board itself? Can I move some of this fabric up and get into here on the board? Some boards you might be able to, or perhaps I might be able to help myself a little bit more with an extra arm here and be able to do that. Now there is the fabric underneath, which isn't the same size as the one on the top. That doesn't make things very easy. There is another alternative. Let's have a look if I can do it and if I can fit it onto the board this way. So yes, I can, and I get a nice flat finish. So let's go. Of course I would have pre-dampened this, and I have pre-dampened this. Having been dried in the way that it has, ideally this sort of fabric would have been better to have been drip dried if possible, and before it started to dry, for it to be nicely stretched out with the hands perhaps. So that's 1, 2, and one more area just here. So that's got both of my underneath, got the elastic right there, a little extra water, being careful not to overstretch too much so that I'm not making any damage anywhere. Just the underneath, we don't really need it too much underneath here, but let's just do that. Now we've already tested that we can go on from the shoulder. So now I've already got this nice part of the puffy sleeve done, and I'm going to start wherever I have a stitch or an intersection, and I'm working it so that the layer underneath fabric is also smooth. So I need to get in there with my fingers underneath. Here we go, and make sure that it's all nice and flat. And let's keep going to the other side and come from the other end and do the same thing here. So again, I've got a bit of a gathering on the underneath. We don't want it too much there, but it is under the armpit. So hopefully that'll be a forgiving measure. And make sure you've got both of the fabrics with your fingers. Don't move your iron back and forth too much. Just find a flat bit and hold it there. And finish off on the top of the sleeve so that you're not recreasing. Unfortunately, these creases have been quite set in the wash and dry process, but we can get some of that out. Just a little bit here. If I just give it a little bit of a stretch, we might have a nice finish. There we go. And we'll catch the rest of it as we're coming around and doing the rest of the bodice and the other sleeve. So theoretically we now have a beautiful puffy sleeve that's going to sit just beautifully and flow underneath.